Hi, I'm back again. For some reason it just kicked me off of the live. So I've been waffling and then I look up and you've all gone. So let me just make sure we're back live. Yes. Okay, hi. I'm sorry about that. I was just talking to myself. It kicked me off. Hi. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It just didn't like me and it's disconnected me. So we don't want any of that, do we? So I don't know where we got up to. I've just briefly said that the winner from 2 weeks ago is Judith D. I need you to let me know, Judith, who you are and where you live, and I will send you that Dandelion Wishes stamp set. And then the winner of the blends is Alison Monk. If you can let me know that you've won, Alison, and I can send your prize out to you. For sharing this video this week, I've got some lovely things. I've got the Merry Merlot and copper ribbon. It's delicious. And the pearlized doilies, pack of those, and then a pack of Stampin' Dimensionals. So all of those prizes will be going out to one lucky winner next week, and I will choose from the people that share the video. So I think you're all coming back in now. Okay, so I've got three projects shared. Can't speak. 3 projects to share. Hang on. Hi Lynn. Hello. Yes, I've made 3 projects and we're going to do them all. They're a little bit different. They're a little bit different from what I normally make, which is good because I always seem to make cards because I need a card, but this time of year we need some treat holders, little treat gifts, something to hang on the tree, something to give at school, something for your teachers, your neighbours. So I'm going to make them all for you today. So the other thing is, I just want to say that if you place an order by Friday, which is, I don't know the date, this Friday coming, and you use the hostess code and it's over £25, then I will send you the materials packet to make all of these projects that we've got down below here. But you must use the special host code that I'll pop on the description. Hi Aaliyah, thank you. Yeah, I'll pop all that information in the description, but obviously it's kicked me out once, so hopefully it's not going to kick me out again. Right, let's have a go at this. Oh, I've just got to reset this camera. Hang on a second. Okay, it's working. There we go. Right, so these are the projects I've prepared for you today. Hi Helen, good afternoon. So yes, these are what I've prepared for you. They're all little treat holders and things that you can give away, as I said, to friends, neighbours, teachers. This one I've designed so you can hang on your tree. And this is the first one we're going to make. So when you're in the shops and you see those little chocolates from Cadbury's with a little foil thread on, and you think, oh, that'd be lovely to put on the tree, and then you look at the price and then you don't pick them up. Well, I don't anyway. I don't know why, but I feel not guilty, but I don't know what the word is. I just feel like it would be really lovely to put some little chocolates on the tree, but high up in my case because of the dogs. But I've made a little pouch that will just sit on the branch of the tree, and it will hold a little Freddo. Freddos you can buy. I bought some this week. It was actually a multi-pack. And we've got just plain Freddos, caramel Freddos, and then the last one, which I can't see, I hope we've not eaten it, is like a popping candy one, which I thought was really fun. So if you could find a multi-pack, oh, it's there, let me show you it. Here it is, this one. Hi Chris, it's me. Yeah, if you can find these multi-packs of Freddos, they are really cool. If you get a variety, it mixes it up a little bit, doesn't it? It's just a pack of 5 like this. Like that. This is definitely a favourite one of Matthew and Adam when they realise. So I thought we could do some of those. You can see the little Freddos fit inside there. So we're going to be making that one first of all. Hi Jane, good afternoon. I'll see you on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. So all of these projects today incorporate this scallop tag topper punch. Love this punch. Just get my little things together. Okay, I'm just going to start off with the decoration first of all, and I'm using the Memento ink because I'm going to be colouring in my little elf. This little elf is from the Signs of Santa stamp set, and he's this one. This is the little boy elf and the little girl. Both would work perfectly well on this. And then the die set cuts them out really lovely. I'll just pop it in the big shop. And there he is. So I'm going to add some colour to him. I'll zoom in so you can see. I'm going to use the shade of Spruce, the Mango Melody, both in dark, and then the Petal Pink in dark. So just the 3. It's really simple. Start off by colouring his little buckle. I'm just going to shut those windows because I can hear someone. Right, and then I'll go for the shaded Spruce. Colour in his hat. Now I've designed this little box because it's so little. You can actually get 2 out of an A4 sheet of paper, which is good. So while you're doing them, you're not going to be wasting a large amount of cardstock. his little jacket. And then lastly, just colour in his face. Now this elf has got some eyes, so we don't want to colour in the eyes, we want to keep the eyes white. And the little girl has her eyes shut, like she's blinking. I'll show you. Here, this one. So you can see the difference. She's got sort of like either looking down or got her eyes shut, and this one's got his eyes out. So just do that. Do his little hands, and then just give it a second, and then you can go back over and give him some cheeks. I love this set. I'm obsessed with it too. Hi Jill. Yeah, I'm sorry you lost me on the video. For some reason it just kicked me out of the live, and I was stood there talking to myself, which is nothing unusual. Okay, and then I like to just prepare him first, and then I know we're all set. So just pop a bit of foam pad on the back. You can see that how that's blended through, which is what we want. Right, and now he will sit on this scallop circle. Let's zoom out a little bit. So I have the 1 3/8 circle punch, the scallop one. I've just got a little bit of foil. And then we'll stick the foam pad onto there, like that. And then again, take another bit of I'm trying to use up my edges of my dimensionals. Take maybe 2 pieces, and now that's ready for when we want to pop it on our little box. So I'm going to bring in the scoreboard for this. Where's the tool? Yeah. So you can use either tool. You can use the one that comes with a board, or you can use the set that comes in with the tool here, but I've got this end on at the moment. I've got that on at the moment, so I'm going to use the one that just comes with the scoreboard. And then the other thing we'll need is some tear and tape, and I like to use this for the boxes. I'm not hanging around with the glue, waiting for the glue to dry. But if you have time, definitely use the Tombow glue too. The cardstock is shaded spruce, just to match the pen, the blend pen that we've used. And you want to cut, I need a trimmer. Let's get my trimmer. You want to cut your cardstock first of all to 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So this is starting off as a square. Okay, can you see the numbers across the top, and then also down the side is useful too. So you want to score, it doesn't matter which side you start on, because this is square, so they're exactly the same width. You want to score at 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 2.5, and then 4. So what we've got here is the side, the front, the side, the back, and then the side again, which overlaps. Really straightforward. And you want to turn it. First of all, score at 2. Hang on, it doesn't look right. No, I want half, score at half. Two and a half. That's it. So score at half and 2 and a half. I'm not sure what I've written down here. And then you want to, let's just make sure that's correct. Where's my big piece of, here he is. Yeah, that's the same. I don't know what I've written down on my notes. But if I grab a Sharpie, okay, if I grab my Sharpie, that's it for this scoreboard. So on here we want to get rid of this corner, we want to get rid of this flap, and then we want to get rid of these 3, and then we want to cut up those lines there. Alright. So I'll do that. I've just got my big scissors. So I like to cut along the left edge of the score so we don't get this like groovy piece, that dipped piece. So the edge that's like closest to the piece that you want to keep. So we want to keep this bit. So I've cut along that side of the dip of the score line. And then we want to get rid of this flap. And then cut it up in the middle. There we go. Put all your bits on the floor. Now next up we want to use the scallop tag topper, which has vanished. And then, if you've not seen this before, I'll just briefly tell you, this is designed to cut tags, the tag topper. So top of here, you have a 2-inch strip that fits inside this groove. Now obviously we can have something that's a little bit narrower, that's fine too. You want to pop it in, and then I find it's easier to flip it over, and then you'll find that you've got your middle point. And obviously these are symmetrical, so you'll find the middle. If it is easier for you, you can measure halfway and do just a little notch, little pencil line. Just stop talking while I get it centered. Alright, so that's all we're doing. Pop those bits out, and I hold my punch closed. Can you see these little pieces? I just make sure they're out before I let go, because I don't want any pieces to feed back into here and then I'm sort of shaking them out. So there we go. Now because I'm just a little bit over the distance of these curves, I just want to take my scissors and just neaten those off a little bit. They might not bother some of you, but they bother me, so I'm getting rid of them. Hi Michelle, oh thank you. We did, we had a lovely, I had a lovely time away, we went away. We did, I spent some time with my family, so thank you, yes. Got very grown up. just flatten all these folds, score lines. Alright, and now this is where the tear and tape comes in, and you want to pay attention to how you close the box and where you stick your tape. So you don't want to put tape like this on this piece, because that doesn't give you a nice neat finish. When you're looking at the front of your box, you want to make sure that this wraps round and this piece tucks into there. So we're going to be putting our tape across here. I do it up right along that edge, and I like that it overlaps a little bit, because I just fold those back. Hi Marion. Gosh, what time is it in Australia? I can't work it out. Is it 8 o'clock in the evening? And then close it up, okay? There's your little piece, little box. And now you can see why I've cut one of those flaps off. If I bring this back in, we cut this flap off, because if I didn't cut that flap off, we'd have been left with an additional flap here. So we would have 2 flaps here and then 1 flap. So we don't need that. So that's why we've just chopped that little bit off there. Those 2 fold in. The back piece folds up, and then again the front folds down. So it's nice and neat, like a little matchbox. Again, use the tear and tape and stick it along that edge and peel it off. Oh, 9:40, wow. Nearly bedtime then. Okay, there we go. So that's the basic box, as you can see there. Then the last piece we need to do is just a bit of pattern paper. And in the Autumn Winter Catalogue, there are plenty of sheets of paper that match this amazing stamp set. It's called Santa's Workshop, and I've just chosen the one with the candy canes, but we could have a look at something else, couldn't we? We could do the holly. That's nice, I like that one. We could do, that's candy canes. We could do just the green dashes. We could do this one, which is like a flocked piece. That's nice too. There's some polka dots and trees, and these are just repeating themselves now. So I might just, oh, that's a nice piece. I might just use that bit. Let's get rid of that. Now I've deliberately used the shaded spruce because I like that the darker shade in this pattern paper, although it's garden green, there are like 2 tones of it. So I thought that I could get away with the shaded spruce, but I mean, you could use garden green as well. So the pattern, the piece of paper, I've binned it. Okay, the piece of paper measures 1 1/4. Now I've lost my trimmer. Blimey. Okay, so it measures what? Let's just get that straight first of all. Okay, so it measures 1 1/4 inches. By 1 3/4 inches. So only small. and that will sit on here with my Tombow. Like that. And then we'll bring in our little guy that we've coloured in earlier. And he sticks on the front. And then the ribbon is actually Poppy Parade. I think it's really lovely. Oh, that's not the one. Where is it? I don't know what I've done with that. Oh well, we will use this one. So this one is the Cherry Cobbler with the crosses. And you need to make sure you give yourself about 6 inches. You just want to loop it through, and depending on the tree that you're going to put it on, you just tie a knot. Hi Terry, thank you. Like that. And then we just make these nice and neat, don't we? And then my little Freddo fits in there. So there we are. That's the first one. What do you think? The other idea I had for those was to die cut some numbers, and you can do a advent calendar with, because I thought these would be the perfect size for some numbers. Instead of the elf, you could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 24, and you could string them along some ribbon, and they can just hang against the fireplace or a wall or something. So there we go, that's the first project. I'll just get rid of that. Thank you. I quite like them. If I was to do them again and put them in a row, perhaps on a ribbon, I'd do boy, girl, and you could bring in Santa, you could bring in Mrs. Claus from the stamp set. I toyed around with the idea of using the sign for this as well, and just popping the little, just writing names of my children, and also having gifts for school as well, so we could write their friends' names on this little sign here. There's lots of different ideas and lots of different things you can do with that, and it's really brilliant. I'm really chuffed with that stamp set this year, and I don't think I'm ever going to part with it. So there we go, that's the first project. Let's stay organised. Let's put him in this little tray. So all of the measurements and things will be on a PDF, and I will link to that in the top of this video, in the description. Yes, the paper is still available here in the UK, yeah, it is. Just finish these bits. Really lovely paper, and also you can die cut the little people as well. Right, so the next project. Oh, thanks Kate, that's okay. That's alright, no worries, thank you. So the next one of the 3 we're doing today is this one. I really like this. So again, you can incorporate it for a tree decoration, or it just works as a standalone project, and so does these actually. These do stand up when they want to. They do stand. So I really like this, and I've got some little Milky Bar buttons inside here, so you can see the size. And that's the bag, just plain. And the Milky Bar buttons are from a multi-pack, and they're the treat size ones. And you can also get those in the normal buttons, you know, with the like little animal faces on them, if you didn't want to go for the Milky Bars. You could get 2 of these packets in, I've realised, because if you shake your buttons, you flatten them out a little bit, because they tend to gather at the bottom of the packet. Just shake them out, and if you are really feeling very generous, you could put in 2 packets, or perhaps pop in a Freddo and a Milky Bar buttons as well. Alright, so let's get started. Let's just swap my boxes over. So the cardstock we're starting with is the Bermuda Bay. Oh, I've got to open a packet. That doesn't happen very often. Let's open the packet. So again, this is a project that you can get 2 out of 1 A4 sheet, which is great. We don't want any waste. And my pouch, my treat pouch measures 5. Let's do this way first. 7 3/4 inches. By 5 1/4. So you can see I've got plenty left over. I can get 2 out of a sheet there. That's it for the trimmer. I'll bring back in this amazing scoreboard. And then on the long edge, so the 7 3/4 inch edge, we want to score at 3/4 of an inch, 3 1/2, 4 1/4, and 7. So for this we've got a 3/4 inch side, so these are the sides, and these flaps will overlap. We have the front and the back piece, and then we want to turn it, and we're scoring at I don't know what I did with my measurements earlier, honestly. 3/4 of an inch, and then 3. I don't know what I did there. Let me just write that down. Honestly. Okay, so there we go. Can I? No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't send any paper to the States. I'm really sorry. I wish I could, but it's against my the rules for my agreement with being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm really sorry. Okay, so again, I'll bring the Sharpie in. So we want to cut this and then this long piece. A little bit tricky when you get to that section there. Cut this piece off, and then I've gone wrong here, so ignore that piece. We're keeping this piece. We're just doing the flaps there, and then we're cutting this section off. So a little bit similar in how we're making our box like this. This bottom piece is the same as that one, it's just a little bit wider and fatter. So I'm going to do that now. So we want to cut this bottom right square, and then this flap here, this flap on the other side. You don't need to use as big scissors as I'm using. It's not necessary. Cut up those 3 flaps there, and then the last piece is this middle. Again, I'm cutting down the outer piece of the score line so I don't get this groove. And then just give your scissors a little wiggle and cut that bit off there. Alright, so that's what we're left with. Hi Viv, how are you? Now, now you want to find halfway along here, because we're going to use our lovely scallop topper punch again. And you will have noticed that this this piece here is actually wider than 2 inches. And if you've remembered, I said that this groove here is 2 inches, so that can't possibly fit in there, in that punch. But there's a secret way you can get around that really easily. So it gives you more uses for your punch. It's not just limited to the 2 inches width. We are going to kind of cheat a little bit, I think. And halfway is 1 3/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 8. Right, so all you need is just that little tiny piece on the top there, and you want to pop it in your punch, and we're doing that by slipping the cardstock in there, and it will run up, and then we'll see it out the top. So we'll pop it in, and that little mark where we marked the middle, you want to get lined up, and then pop and make sure all those bits disappear. Alright, and that's what we're left with. It's not finished yet, don't worry. Do it again. Pop your cardstock past that groove into that little slot there. Doesn't damage your cardstock, it doesn't damage the punch. Flip it over, find the middle, and get rid of all those bits. And then what you need to do is just take your scissors and snip these pieces off. If you wanted to make some alterations to the cardstock here, you could just cut all the way down. If you don't like these edges, you can cut all the way down and cut off, and then it would reveal a little bit more of the packaging here, so it would just go straight down and off. But I quite like the way it looks like that. It's just something else you can do. Right, just make sure my little joins, my points are neat. Alright. I'm just going to plug my iPad in because I can't see your comments. Right, so we'll bring in the tear and tape again, and this time make sure you fold your lines. So again, decide which is your front and which is your back, and because we want this nice and neat. pop the tape on one edge. Because this is a little bit wider, I would recommend that you just add another layer of, another row of glue, just so it holds it. What am I doing? There we go. That folds onto there. And once I've got the sides glued down, I always just go over it again with my bone folder, because I want to see that this is nice and square, so it will stand straight. Again, fold the two smallest flaps in first. Remember which side is the back and which is the front. So where the join is there, that's the back. That gets folded in first. And then we pop some more tape on. There we go, there's our little pouch. So our Milky Bar packet will go in there, and perhaps Freddo. And you can even get a candy cane in there. You know, and have it sticking out the side. I'm going to leave my treat in there first, okay? Now we're going to decorate. So the decoration, I've used the amazing, I think it might be my favourite, although don't tell anybody else. Don't tell my other stamp sets, because they will get really sad with me. This Spirited Snowman stamp set. So I'm using some of our scallop our oval framelits in three different sizes. So we have those two, and then a scallop. So I've got 3 layers. The outer layer is Pool Party. I just want one of those. Hi Wendy, good morning. Alright, so that's our outer layer. I've chosen Pool Party because it matches the ribbon that I've used, which is the shimmer ribbon in Pool Party. It's gorgeous. So that's our scallop first. Then we have another layer, which is foil. I thought I'd bring out the foil scene as it was Christmas. I always sort of cut round the shape I'm going to cut out, so I'm not wasting anything. I'm using my magnetic platform, by the way, just to keep everything in place. I'm sorry if the camera wobbles. There's my layer of foil. And then the last layer I've cut out just in Whisper White. But I use the thick Whisper White because I'm going to colour with blends. That's just wide enough. You can use the thinner Whisper White. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the standard white that we stock. But if I have the cardstock and I'm colouring with blends, I just prefer to use the thick Whisper White. I just think it withstands a bit more colouring, really. There we go. There's our 3 layers. The foam pads go on the back of the silver foil, and go down onto this oval in the middle. Can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, now we're going to stamp this lovely guy, this little snowman, and for that we need the Memento ink pad. Now it just fits on this size oval, so you just need to make sure you hold him at a slightly different angle, just a little bit wonky. Just fits on. Like that. And other blends I'm using are these plus the orange. We have to do the nose in orange, don't we? Because it's a carrot. So I'll zoom in for you. Start off with the nose in orange, which is the dark pumpkin pie. Then we have the Bermuda Bay. This is the light one actually, but you could use the dark as well. Just colouring in every other rectangle on the scarf. And then try not to cover this up. The background of the hat just needs little bits, that's all it takes. And then this colour is Lovely Lipstick in the dark pen. Then we have the black, dark black. Oh, I've forgotten the boots. The Wellington boots I've done in the Lovely Lipstick. Just got a slight heel on the bottom of that boot too. Okay, then to finish off, I've just taken the crumb cake and you have to colour in his little legs, his little wooden legs. You could go for a shade darker, you could go for one of the browns. So his little arms. And then just to give it a bit of shape, I've just done a little sweeping curve on all three of the snowballs. Just to make him stand out a little bit, make him look a bit more 3D. And then he comes to life. That works if you keep your lines consistent in the same colour and also the width of the shading, so it looks like a bit of shadow. If you wanted to, you could outline him in either a pink or a blue, and go all the way around, so make him pop a bit more. But I'm happy with that. Now that just gets glued straight down onto our topper with some Tombow, which is a wet glue. Straight onto this foil. So with it being foil, obviously it's a little bit slippy, so you need to hold it very carefully. Are you colouring the snowman? That's nice. Oh, you have to show us in the group later, Chris. Right, so take how much did I use? About 30 centimetres, 12 inches of ribbon. I tend to leave mine on the roll, on the reel, and thread it through. That'll be enough. And just make sure I've got enough before I cut it. This is just a bow, just making sure I've got the back piece, yeah. So I want my bow facing the front. I like this ribbon, it's really lovely and thick. It doesn't look it, but it really is quite solid. And so your bows behave. They do not move. Right, one bow. And now to put this on, because we've got our box which is flat and then it tapers in because we're pinching this at the top, if you were to stick foam pads on the back all over, we'd be sort of bending it a little bit. So I just put foam pads, one at the bottom and then two sort of either side in the middle. I've left this free because I don't want to put any stress on the shape because it is flat, doesn't want to be encouraged to bend backwards. But it sits nicely in the middle of there. And then to finish off, there's a stamp in the set that says Winter Cheer. Could do a little holly. Could do your Friendship Warms My Heart too. Little snowflakes we could stamp behind here if we wanted to. Really depends how much you want to add on to your little gift. But with a piece, let's see, where is it? Here it is. With a piece of thick white, I'm just going to make a little something. Just trim it out with scissors. Make it a little bit different by doing a funny little angle on it. And then if I use my mini foam pads, it sits quite nicely down here. I could just put a couple on. And then my Winter Cheer can sit there. And then we have some sequins, which I am running out of, which is a disaster. We have some sequins, and these are the white ones, yeah. There's an iridescent as well, which would look really nice. But in the packet, come on, in the packet, these white ones I thought would look like snow. And they just finish it off, just gives it a little bit of twinkle, doesn't it? So there you go. There's my second one, that's my second project. They don't look too bad, they look very similar. Okay, so far we've made our little thread eye with our Christmas hanging for the Christmas tree. And these are something you could adapt if you changed the way you've done the bow. They could still hang on the tree. They will stand up on their own too, and you can give them out to people. Okay, so I'm just going to go over and grab my iPad so I can see your comments again, because I can't really see that many comments on this iPad. And we have a third project for today, and this, I think it might be my favourite one. Oh, I think I said that about the last one, didn't I? Let's see. Just get connected up to you again. So for this, I found these amazing chocolates. It is the Terry's Chocolate Orange in a bar, which is really, really cool because, let's just see where I am on here. Because, you know, you can get away with eating one of these, can't you? And you can hide the wrapper, but what you can't get away with is having one of the whole boxes and then your husband finding it in the recycling bin. You know what I'm talking about, the big boxes with the ball of chocolate orange. And to be honest, I shouldn't really be eating a whole chocolate orange over 2 evenings. So these I thought were really cool. One, to get around your chocolate craving of Terry's Chocolate Orange as soon as Christmas is here. And also you can get away with eating some of these because the wrappers just sort of disappear, don't they? So I will get rid of my iPad. Whoop, moving you. And this is the project. This is really sweet. We are using the Great Joy stamp set, which has these really cute stockings. Oh, hi Maria. Oh, you'll have to watch me back. When you pull the ribbon out of the top, you can see that it reveals this sort of nice little treat. It's kind of like magic, really. And then it just pops back in. So it's all secure with that ribbon, and it's not going to fall out. She says it's not going to fall out. And when you just pull the ribbon, the chocolate comes out too. So it's really cute. And just something a little bit different, isn't it? So you see we've got another package very similar to this one, but of course the measurements are different. So we've like got a mummy and a baby here, and so we're going to get started making it. So hang on, that's that one. I don't want to tell you the wrong measurements. You should see my floor after this. You know, every Monday when I do my lives, I just brush everything onto the floor. So I end up walking dimensionals around the house, bits of paper, and then I'm hoovering up afterwards. But it's just funny. I took a picture of it last week, but I think this week I've really made a mess. I love it. Right, so we need this colour, and I've obviously been inspired by the chocolate orange, and that would be Mango Melody. Look at that, I love this colour. Must be my favourite colour. And we need to start off with a 6-inch piece. Whoops. 6 inches by 4.5. Again, you can get 2 pieces out of this cardstock, out of an A4 piece of cardstock, so you can cut another one there. So all of the projects today, you can get 2 out of a sheet. Then we go to the scoreboard, and on the 4.25 inch side, sorry, hang on, I've cut it at 4.5. What am I doing? Hang on. Yeah, I've just had it too short, too long. It's because I'm not paying attention. I can't do 2 things at the same time. I can't talk and do. It's very good practice for me. There we go. I'll just take that 1/4 inch off. So you want a 6 by 4.25 inch piece of cardstock, and on the 4.25 inch side, you want to score at half. Whoops, a little bit tricky sometimes in that corner. Half, 1 7/8. That's right, 1 7/8. So if it helps you to remember it, if you're not familiar with inches, there's 8 eighths in 1 inch. So this would be the 1/8 inch to make it 8. I can't even speak. So basically half an inch is 4, then you go 5, 6, 7 eighths. Alright, I don't think I've made that any clearer. So half, 1 7/8, 2 3/8, that's 2 and 1, 2, 3, and then 3 1/4, which is simple. We know that one, don't we? So again, we've got the flaps on the side, the 2 that are going to get stuck together, a front and a back. Then you want to turn it the 6 inch width across. You want to score at half, which gives us the bottom flap, and then you want to score at 4. Now for this piece, you can score to there. You can go all the way down if you wanted. It's completely up to you. You can leave that free if you want. I have done that here. I've left that completely free, so there's no score line here. Alright, so just miss out that bit there. And if I find my Sharpie, we want to get rid of this piece, all of those pieces, those 3 flaps. You want to get rid of that there. You want to get rid of the corner, and then we're cutting up those 3 there. Alright. Again, I'll say it again, all of these measurements will be in a PDF which you can download. I will just need to pop the link on the video a bit later on today. Like that. 1, 2, 3. And then down there. There we go. So there is another step, an additional step to this that is optional. You don't have to do it. I've not done it on this one. My chocolate is still secure with my ribbon on this little hole here. But if you want it to come out, say that much, what you'll need to do is pop a little notch here. Okay, you'll want to use your craft knife. So that will be here on here. Alright, you'll want to use your craft knife. I might be able to do it on my pricking tool. Let's see. So to get it nice and neat, you'll want to obviously use your knife, or you could put it in the trimmer, to be honest. Let's see if I've got my mat. Yeah. So what you'd do is you would just cut a little line with your trimmer. This works quite well actually. You need to make sure you do it the width of the ribbon roughly. Okay. We could neaten that up with our scissors, but just to show you, this is where you put your little notch. Alright. And then we'll bring in that scallop tab topper. Hi Kate. Oh, have you? Oh, that's great. Hi Sandy. So again, pop your long tab, turn your punch over so you can see what you're doing. Make sure it's in the middle. Mark it with a pencil or a pen if that's easier for you. Alright, I'll just take that tiny bit off so it's a little bit more curved. Okay, whoops. So fold over on all of these lines that we've scored. I think this has got to be my favourite one. I'm so desperate to eat it as well. It's talking to me, it's saying my name. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we want to get the tear and tape. And again, remember that this is the back piece, so this flap is going to be inside. So that's where we want to put our tape. Fold it over. Flatten it so it's nice and square. Alright, it's coming together. It's really exciting. And then fold these 2 pieces in. Fold the bottom piece up, the back piece even. Put some tape on it. Fold my flaps in there. Ta-da! That's it. And then you want to have some ribbon. Now, depending on how big your treat is, you want to leave yourself enough to tie a nice bow, and then measure from the top, wrap it around your chocolate. Okay, hold it together. And then as long as this bit at the top is enough for you to comfortably tie a bow, you can chop it off. So this is the Night of Navy gingham ribbon. I thought it was really Christmassy, and it goes nicely with our little chocolate orange. Now, what we want to do is push this ribbon, the back piece, all right, through there, and then poke it back through our little hole that the scallop punch has created. And then you feed in your chocolate. Like that. And then what I do is I'll just pull these two ribbons level.
Sorry, I don't know that.
That's my Alexa. Alexa, shush.
Thank you for listening to Magic. Goodbye.
I'm not listening to the radio. Right, so tie your bow. Honestly, these Alexas are terrible. And what we do is we find ourselves having to whisper Alexa so she doesn't hear us. So here I've done it in a nice bow this time. This time on this one I just did a knot and double knotted it. And do that so it's nice and neat. So you can see where we've created that little notch at the back. It won't put, when we get to the end of the ribbon, so the end of here, it's not going to come any further than that point. So you'll pull on the bow and you can see that the chocolate isn't going to come out. Isn't she rude? No, she's not. We do like Alexa. So Adam, my little boy Adam says, Alexa, you're the best.
Thanks.
Thanks. Right, she gets told that daily, so she does get some appreciation and some love from 5-year-old Adam. So to finish off, now I probably prefer colouring this image to be stamping on a thick whisper white and then heat embossing with a black, or a black embossing powder, just to give you a little edge and a little bit of detail. But I'm not going to do that. If I had time, I would do that, just because I prefer to. See if I can get it on this piece of rubbish here. Yeah, I just prefer to have that line to colour up to when it's so open like this. It's okay. So this stocking, as I said, is from the Great Joy stamp set. So we have the big bauble and then the smaller bauble, Peace, Love and Joy. This is a great one if you want to colour in. I've made some Christmas cards with the boys using this one because I felt it was quite simple for them to colour in. Not so detailed and close. So if you are looking for a stamp set to do with your children or grandchildren, then I recommend using this one. There aren't any dies for this because it's quite an easy shape, quite straightforward to cut out. You just have to stop talking when you're cutting in case you chop your fingers off with these massive scissors. I would recommend that you use your paper snips. Okay, so the colours I have are Shaded Spruce, Pumpkin Pie, Cherry Cobbler, Night of Navy. All the dark ones, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that's just Call Me Clover, but Shaded Spruce would do the job as well. Okay, so I've left the top of the stocking white, as if it's like fur. You could go back on and do some of that embossing paste if you wanted to make it a little bit more textured. You could add on some Wink of Stella to give it a little shimmer. I quite liked using these colours because I've just coordinated it with the chocolate. And again, these can be hung on your tree, but they would probably be better giving them as a gift. So there's the navy. And then we've got, oh, I've used Mango Melody as well, actually. So I've put down a simple basic layer of Mango Melody. Try not to touch that navy too much because the blue and the yellow mix together. Probably best waiting until the blue is definitely dry, because I found if I touch them, then obviously they start blending, because that's what they're meant to do, and it just makes it go a little bit green. So you want to make sure that whichever one you start with is dry, and you won't get that mix of colour. And then just to pick out these squares, I've just gone over it with Pumpkin Pie. There's absolutely no shading going on with this because I don't feel it needs it. I quite like using them just as they are. Just as like they're colouring felt tips. And then we've got some holly. So I'm nearly finished, so I'm going to start saying that if you please do share my video, and I'll enter you into the draw to win the copper reversible ribbon, the doilies and the foam pads, and then somebody will be chosen next week. I'll pick a winner at random for those. The winner for this one was for last week was Alison Monk. So if you can let me know that you're the winner, please, Alison. And the winner from the previous week was Judith D. If you let me know by Friday, Judith, otherwise it will go back into the pot for another Facebook Live. There we go. And also, if you place an order with the host code that I'm going to put in the description, I will, for a minimum £25, I will send you the products, like the cardstock that you need, and the stamps already, the paper already stamped, for you to make these at home. So I'll send you a length of the ribbon, the size of the cardstock, the stamped shoe, the stocking, and you would just put them together, and you would provide the colours, the colouring pens and things. So I'll send you a pack of products, obviously no stamps included in that, just so you can have a go and make these at home yourself. So that's if you add the host code for this video, and that's by Friday of this week. But all the details I'll pop on the top of the video for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed these treats. I hope I've inspired you to get gift giving. Now's the time to really get thinking about spending time making things like this. Yeah, and I'd be thrilled if you could let me know if you've decided to make some of these. So thank you again, and I will see you at 1 o'clock on the dot next Monday for an hour. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!